Good morning. So here we are at the second last day of year 2022. First of all, let me thank you all for this tremendous support in making this Forces Supreme Law legal channel a huge success. The channel started somewhere mid-May, and despite all its challenges, it became popular among you all, achieving milestone. I am sure with your supports, blessing and love, the channel would be more popular, and most important would be creating more values for you when it comes to law and individual. It is going to play a key role in your empowerment, in your business success, in your expansion, in giving you the peace of mind while doing the business. So here once again I am Dr. Ajay Kumar Pandey, Advocate, Supreme Court of India, welcoming you to this legal law channel, Forces Supreme Law International. My dear friends, again today I am here with a very interesting topic. A topic which is very close to your heart and which affects masses. Yes, the year is ending at a sad note. If we are getting the news of abatement of suicide from Bollywood, the year 2022 was marked by a numerous suicide of Bollywood stars. I would talk to you about abatement of suicide cases in Bollywood in my next episode. To keep watching us here. But today, again, it's a news from Mumbai which has drawn my attention, and this is the news at the year end is about the demolition drive undertaken by BMC. So let's answer here this mystery. Can demolition be stopped? Going by my experience and the procedure prescribed by the law, I would try to answer this question. Now, first of all, you have to understand this topic, you have to keep the demolition drive in two categories. One, the politically influenced decision. If I call it from Mumbai, again the example, the case of Kangana Ranaut. She tweets, and the Shiv Sena, which was at that time under the control of, or the BMC, which was under the control of Shiv Sena, on the instruction of Sanjay Raut, demolish the Kangana Ranaut house. So this is one political influenced demolition which you have seen in Madhya Pradesh, which you are seeing in Uttar Pradesh, which you have seen in Delhi. Such politically influenced system of demolition, or what the Supreme Court says, that the structural unconstitutional use of the force, which is nothing new for India. It has happened in foreign countries like Brazil, in a state like Colombia, in US, and many other places. And court have, it's not that over there has not addressed this issue. So similarly, if need be, I'm sure the Indian courts are powerful enough to find a way to deal with this kind of mass and the misuse of the power by the state authorities. But we would keep ourselves limited to the demolition drive undertaken by the authorities against an individual, which is more or less legal in nature rather than political. So here the question again is, can such drive be stopped? Yes, the law provides very clear-cut procedure for getting such demolition drive stopped. Now, what the law says about it? Generally, demolition is a state-specific subject. It varies from state to state. But on the whole or in the totality, the basic tenets which ought to be followed across the country remains the same. So let's see first what the Supreme Court has got to say about the demolition or right of an individual over the property. The Supreme Court very clearly through various judgment and decision has said the right to property is a human right. The right to property is the constitutional right. So, a state can't just go and take it from the individual on their whims and fancy. So, that is as far as the state is, as far as the Supreme Court is concerned, that is the very clear-cut stand. Now, once this is established that this is a human right, this is a fundamental right, this is a constitutional right, then comes the question of can state take it away? Yes, state can take it away. That power comes to a state with an amendment in 1978 just after emergency under Article 300A. So as we were saying, yes, the state has power which has been vested into it by introducing an amendment in 1978 just after emergency, that is under Article 300A, that state can deprive a person of his or her property only, but it puts a condition, only after following due procedure of the law and under the authority of the valid law as mandated under Article 300A of the Constitution. So now let's understand what is that legal procedure which an state ought to follow, what is that authority given to the state under that valid law and which is applicable to throughout India despite property being a state subject and slight variance here and there. So the first and foremost condition which Supreme Court stipulates or which under Constitution under Article 300A has been prescribed is first the right of a person to be heard. If you feel that some person has committed some mistake, the authorities needs to give him notice and minimum 15 days time to reply to that notice. And after receiving the reply, if still the authorities are not concerned, the person has two rights. One right to appeal, and for that the authority needs to give him another 30 days time. So in a whole 45 days time has been given to an individual under the law to put his defense. So any act of bulldozing a building without giving this 45 days mandatory period to defend is illegal. It has been established by Supreme Court in different cases once and again. I have seen personally the courts coming out with strictures against the authority, even taking a stern action for the contempt of the court and ordering suspension and removal of the authorities for such illegal act. So my dear friends, my viewers, courts takes a serious view of any such irregularity or forced or illegal demolition by the state authorities. So the answer to the question is, can illegal demolition be stopped? Yes. Now let's see what SC stand is about the property. The SC says clearly the right to property is a human right under same articles 300A. So human rights are the part of the fundamental rights which comes to an individual right from his birth. So it can't be taken away from an individual. Now the court again insists about the procedure which I have already talked, but I am repeating here, the right to appeal. So minimum 30 days time should be given to an individual to put his case forward. The court has also observed in various judgments that such illegal demolition drive is an attack, is an infringement on the victim's fundamental rights for equality under Article 14. The Supreme Court is also of the view, very clear view, that this also is the violation of individual under Article 19, and this is also a violation of right of dignified life provided under the Constitution of India to an individual under Article 21. So, any act of raising down buildings without giving notice to affected person or without being heard is a clear-cut violation of the rule of law. The rule of the law is the basic feature of the Constitution, and to protect the human dignity, to protect the human right to equality, to protect the human freedom, SC in Supreme Court through a series of judgments on this matter has clearly said the right to property is the constitutional right and can't be taken away illegally by state. In a famous case, Indian Handicraft Emporium, the Supreme Court has emphasized the importance of the right of property and its constitutional validity. Article 300A was inserted shortly after the emergency because during the emergency it was observed that the government is using the power vested in the government illegally and in a very totalitarian manner. To stop this, Article 300A was brought down in 1978. In another famous case, that is Tea Plantation Private Limited versus the State of Karnataka 2001, Supreme Court has held that the argument being forwarded in the Malad Station Mumbai demolition case is that the demolition was carried out for the expansion, for extending the road because the traffic was becoming very chaotic and problematic in that area, being the road pavements captured by the hawkers and alleged encroachment by 5 famous sweet shops. So, I am not going into that debate because here the mithai walas are saying that they were only targeted and not the hawkers. Hawkers have not been removed. Their shops, which is 30 years, 35 years, 40 years, and there is not a encroachment of a single inch, no notice was served upon them, and still it was demolished in the name of public purpose. So here I am confining myself, yes, for public purpose the government can take away the land, but for that again the rule of law, the process of law has to be followed, and in that case an individual has right of compensation. So once again the answer to such illegal demolition drive is yes. How it can be stopped? Number one, first of all, if any person who walks to your door, who walks to your property with a bulldozer has to be bulldozed, has to be stopped by all legal means. The bosses must be immediately informed, the police must be called, the lawyer must be called, the media must be called, and you should insist upon showing the notice. Many a times the authorities plays game and tricks here. They show you a backdated notice, which again could be challenged in the court of law. You can approach the court for an interim relief and a stay. If notice is not served, you can ask them to go back and give you a notice and proper time to reply. I have used this many a times and fortunately had been success in stopping the demolition drive. So the first and foremost condition is 15 days notice which you must reply on time. If the authorities are not satisfied, they will come back to you with giving you 30 days time for an appeal. You can go to the higher authorities, you can approach the court, and then depending upon the decision of the court, the authorities, but yes, without providing you the right of being heard, the right of notice, the right to defend. If a demolition drive has been carried out, it is illegal, you must immediately approach the court. Court will take stern action against such illegal drive and would also ensure that you are fairly compensated for the loss. I have seen many times court charging or fining 5 lakhs rupees per officers in their individual capacity. So it's not easy to bulldoze anybody's private property, and the answer, can bulldozer be stopped, is yes. So here I am signing off, Dr. Ajay Kumar Pandey, Advocate, Supreme Court of India. We'll see you in another episode with another such analytical analysis of legal issues which is very close to your heart, which is very important for you. Wishing you all very happy New Year 2023. If you have not subscribed my channel, please do subscribe it, because it is your love, it is your feedback which keeps me going on. Do press the bell icon button to get the latest from 4C Supreme Law. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.